For the best soul food in the Mid-South, it's Shop and Save. 1499 South 3rd, 901-946-4303. Serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And some of the items on their menu consist of catfish, spaghetti, chicken and dressing, turkey wings, meatloaf, fried chicken, cabbage, yams, greens, salmon croquette, and the list goes on. Some of the best soul food you ever taste in the Mid-South, it is Shop and Save. 1499 South 3rd. Call them again at 901-946-4303. Been in business since 1991. Shop and Save, 1499 South 3rd, 901-946-4303 for some of the best soul food you'll ever taste.
I watch y'all coming here for years, because you shot somebody. Now your life is shot. You gonna pick that phone up one day, and that girl gonna be done dumped you and raise your child with another man. Or maybe your mama or your grandmama dies. Because ain't nothing you can do about it. You got 15 to 20 years, state or fed time. Real talk. Don't lose your head, use your head, man. Gun crime, max time.
This pandemic has hit us hard, but Tennesseans don't stay down for long. We're known for our resilience, and we refuse to back down from a challenge. This challenge is no different. You might be out of work, but there's an opportunity waiting for you. We need you to roll up your sleeves and join our workforce. Right now, thousands of jobs are ready to be filled. Find them at jobsfortn.gov. Let's get to work, Tennessee.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
Really good try.
There aren't any cops around.
Didn't think there were any cops around.
I drink and drive all the time.
Sir, you've been in a serious crash. So we're gonna hang on, okay? Now.
If you're scheduling a wedding, a funeral, birthday party, appreciation service, or any other special event, then you'll probably need an experienced singer. Rose Prince has been singing in church choirs since the age of 8. Rose has been in very prestigious choirs where she has been selected to sing lead and on praise and worship teams. Rose has also been enrolled in institutional voice lessons. Book a local singer with a wide vocal range and with a voice as beautiful as a rose. Call Rose Prince at 405-468-4953. That's Rose Prince at 405-468-4953 for your special events. Good Saturday afternoon. I am your host on Let's Talk About It, Bishop Bob Midgett. And I tell you what, we have an exciting show for you this afternoon. Memphis and the surrounding area in the Mid-South, welcome to the show today. And we'll be joined by our special guest pretty soon here. How is your day going today, Memphis? And I might as well say the world because everybody's listening to it. We had a caller, a listener from, what's it, Pakistan? Pakistan, or in the other side of the world. We had a listener listening from Pakistan. So people are listening from all over the place in Washington, D.C. Oh, yeah, it's all over the place. Georgia, everywhere. Okay, hey, welcome to the show. Let's talk about it, a weekly show right here on Talkback Line Network where we have a special guest prepared and ready to go to talk about things locally, nationally, and internationally. And today our special guest will be Pastor Charlie Caswell. He is the Shelby County Commissioner, District 6. He is the leader there. And so he's elected to that seat, and we'll be talking with him in just a couple of minutes, and we're honored to have him ready to go on our show today. So, hey, if you want to listen to what he has to say, he has some good things to say and plans that he has in store for Shelby County. So you really need to take heed and take listen to this. Call a neighbor, call a friend, tell them, Let's Talk About It show is in. It is on the air and got a special guest. And I tell you what, let's go to our special guest right now. He is the Shelby County Commissioner, District 6, and he's also president of, oh, God, I forget. I'm so sorry.
Legacy of Legends.
Okay, what's the name of that place again?
Legacy of Legends CD Community Development Corporation.
There you go, Charlie. Thank you very much. Charlie Caswell. Charlie, man, welcome to the show. Well, man, I have to call you Mr. Charlie Caswell.
No, sir. You can just call me Charlie, Bob. We friends, man. I appreciate you and I appreciate being back on the show. I feel like them early 7:30 mornings with y'all again right now.
Man, that's a throwback right there.
Yeah, that is.
What's up, Mr. Charlie? How you doing, sir?
What's up? Oh, God, good, man. Good.
Yeah. All right, Charlie. Glad to have you on the show today. And look, man, I tell you what, congratulations on your win in District 6 at the Shelby County Commission. And I tell you what, we couldn't have a better person to be elected to the commission, Shelby County Commission in that district or any other place.
Yeah.
You've been doing a lot of work around the area. I mean, man, you were the guy that was on hitting the streets, and people know a lot of things that you've done. First of all, if you don't mind, Charlie, before we go into the Shelby County District Commission seat that you have, let's talk about what you're doing right now and the place that you have, if you don't mind sharing that with our listeners. And just go ahead, and glad to have you on. Yeah.
Yeah, appreciate it, Bob and Josh, being back with y'all. I mean, it's truly an honor, to share. And I know that y'all have a great following of people who probably follow you for many years and know me being on the show back when I was pastoring Union Grove Baptist Church here in Frazier a number of years ago. And a lot of my work, just like you said, has been grassroots. Before that, I was the executive director of Rangeline Community Development Corporation, which focused on really helping families, teen parents. But where we at now, Bob, and it have allowed how God has really connected the dots to bring me to here is I'm the executive director of Legacy of Legends, CDC. And the focus of our organization is focused on helping children and families impacted by adverse childhood experience and traumatic experience, with addressing and connecting them to mental health, behavior health, instead of just throwing them in jail without addressing the trauma that many of these young people go through. And part of our mission is creating vision-based communities, creating safe, healthy, and nurturing environments for children and families. And so to fast forward you just to where we are now, God blessed me to come back after stepping down 5 years from Union Grove, to be able to come back when the church, another pastor took over and then make through pandemic, foreclosed on the building, 60,000 square foot building here in Frazier. We were able to purchase that building, and in here now, what we're doing, we're converting it into a multiple venues because it's so big. I mean, one part of it is a freedom fighter art gallery. The other part is a performing arts center where we are partnering with Tennessee Ballet and Children Ballet to bring some of the arts to the community. In the gym, we have a full gym. I know you all remember, Bob, we had the wrestling match there, and we're going to have to bring that back. Yeah, we most definitely have to bring that back here. I think we can make that a regular here in the community if the guys still doing it as they go on tour. But just giving the community somewhere, some healthy place to go. One of the big pieces I'm excited about is the back part of it where we have a business incubator, and we're just finishing up on that phase of it where businesses will be coming in and allowing people within this community who may have an idea to try to get their business started but don't really have enough money to have a virtual office here and give them the structure that's needed to try to get funding and capital for their business. And
wait, Charlie. Wait a minute now. Wait, hold it. You know, some people say, well, that's too generous. Now, wait. Let me get this straight. You mean, okay, go back and just say what you just said again. I mean, people think that's a place to start their business. Where you going here?
Yeah. So I mean, you know, again, when I started, I was 18 years old, washing cars out the trunk of my car, and I built myself up in 2 years to being able to go on and owning my own car dealership. But I really didn't have no one telling me structure and things that was needed in place. So one day, the tax man showed up at my door, and he said he had change in his hand. He was getting ready to lock my car lot up because of back taxes. And I thank God for grace on that. That he said, actually, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna sit down and help you understand what you supposed to be filing and how you supposed to be filing. I never had no business experience, didn't know nothing. All I just knew was buy low, sell high. And so I said, before I allow others in our community to have to go through an experience like that, let's put something in place that teaches them the structure and processes so that they can be able to build the capacity of their business small. So when they get big, you know, they can just blow up. And so that's something that we feel like economically in our community, people have the vision and they have ideas, but they don't have structure. They don't have a place to actually, you know, grow that. And so here we opening our doors to that space for small businesses in this community to step up. And so many other parts that over the next couple of years we'll be bringing into play, everything from our after school program, which that'll be this year. I'm working with Heal the Hood Foundation. We're going to be doing some summer programs here. And Bob, we started 3 months ago. Every month we do business workshops for young people. So we have about 5 business owners come in from braiding hair, from coding, from screen printing T-shirts, event planning. So they work with a group of youth in the community and they help them learn business early. And so that's something that because I know some of these young people, they have to sadly really take responsibility early due to whether it's a parent that don't have the capacity, whether they're on drugs or in jail or trying to rob Peter to pay Paul, working, you know, long hours at a time, got 5 or 6 kids. So to keep that other young child from thinking about selling drugs or something, we started this program to show them how they can make legal money.
Okay. All right. Our guest is Charlie Caswell. He is the Shelby County Commissioner elected at District 6. And also he's president of, I need to write this down, Charlie.
Legacy of Legends. Yes, sir.
Legacy of Legends, CDC.
Legacy of Legends, CDC.
Yes, sir.
Now,
Yes,
I'm going to
sir.
write that down because I know I'm going to have to say that again during the show.
Yes, sir.
Charlie, talk to us about what inspired you to go out and get a place like this, and what was in your mind? What were you thinking about, and how did all this come about? As far as it had to be a miracle for you. I mean, what?
Yeah.
Talk to us about that.
Yeah, I just say this, Bob. Growing up as a young man in Dixon Home Projects at a time when crack cocaine came on the scene, I have to see the opposite of what young people do when they get money in doing it illegal. I come from a big family, 17 brothers and sisters, and had one of my older brothers who was a heavy drug dealer, and he was. I sadly, because of that lifestyle, I witnessed one of my friends who worked for him actually shoot another friend and kill him in front of us at 14, to have it again to happen at 15 years old. It did say it to me, we got to show these young people how we can do it legal and how we can make investments back into their own community. So that's why I saw the opportunity again that God brought it full circle. To be able to buy the church that I used to pastor, and seeing that this was a community that was not receiving the investments for opportunities, as I discussed about what we're doing. I wanted to be that model for these young people that look up to me. I know you've been knowing me for years. I've been doing my 3B leader program for years with these young people, teaching them entrepreneurship, apprenticeship. I'm talking about probably easily 300 to 400 kids over the last 10 years that's been through our program every summer. And many of them, like one of them ran to me in the street the other day and said, "Pastor, you actually got that building back?" They was in this program 7 years ago and in this building. And so, and what I was teaching them about business then, they actually get to see it in action. That I was just a young man here at the time, wasn't even pastoring at the time. I was doing outreach, and but now to come full circle, they can see that you can make these type of investments back into your own community and make change. And so that's the reason why I was inspired to do it.
Charlie Caswell is our guest of Legacy of Legends building. What's the address out there, Charlie?
Yes, 2285 Frazier Boulevard.
2285 Frazier Boulevard. And is there a number that the public can just call if there's somebody that's in need, a child, or they want some help with? Is this something like that you have set up?
Yeah. So I let me say this, because that is just one part of our services. The other part is that we are in partnership with the University of Tennessee Health Science Center that has about 4 other mental health providers that's partnering with us in Labana Hospital. So you're talking about everything. We are able to connect these kids to mental health services, behavioral health services, as well as their family. And also, like with Labana, they're going to be with us as they've been for the last 3 years. They're coming throughout the summer for about 5 weeks. Because one social determinants of health was transportation. People didn't have the transportation or couldn't get on the bus, going over to the medical district for their child checkup. Well, all summer, they're going to be here with us 2 days a week throughout the summer, providing it. And this is what we learned last year, that we had over 140 kids to come for those services. Because guess what, Bob? They was able to walk across the street from their home to the church to get the services. They said that they were able to see 70% of kids that they were only seeing 30% over at the medical district because they came into the community and partnered with us.
Right.
So those things going to have a long-term impact on the life of these kids, that they can see somebody cared about their health to make sure that they had, everything that they need. So we got some strong partnerships. So if they give us a call at 901-236-4604, then we can begin the process of assessing the needs that these children and family may be dealing with, and then begin to connect them to the right resources.
Okay. All right. Pastor Charlie Caswell, I guess, is also Shelby County Commissioner for District 6 of Shelby County, and we'll get into that in just a little bit.
I'm the commissioner Commissioner-elect. I ain't in the seat yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Commissioner-elect.
Yeah.
Okay. All
Yes,
right.
sir.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well,
So somebody's gonna be calling and say, y'all commissioners don't do nothing in the commission. Give me a free more month.
Hey, no, that used to see Charlie. That used to be my thing.
used to be.
No, but so some of your faithful listeners know how you do it, Bob, so they gonna come and call and do it for you.
Charlie Caswell, look, this is a big deal. What you got there, the Legacy of Legends. This is far more than what people actually can see with the eye. You know, when people come there, is there an hour operation that they can come and or do they have to make an appointment, or do they have to call before they come? What's this, how does this work?
Yeah. So we do have staff that work all day, but most of my staff work out in the field. You know, they're in the schools working with the kids and what have you. So yeah, unless there's an event going on, like today, we get ready to graduation party about to be hosted here for some of the kids in the community that graduated. We got a birthday party going to be hosted here today. And so, so unless they call, then, you know, and set up a time, because, and like I said, or they can go to our website. It's legacyimpactcrc.com. That's legacyimpactcrc.com, and it'll have a list of upcoming events, the workshops and things like that they can connect with.
Mm-hmm. All right, and the birthday party is today or tomorrow?
Today, they finna do, so they, you know, a lot of people graduating, so they finna do a graduation party in one part of the building, and then they got a birthday party that's supposed to be outside in our parking lot, because it's gonna rain. We're letting them move it on the inside. So
Is that your birthday party?
No. So my birthday party Sunday, and I hope that you and the family can make it. So I am hosting a birthday party here at the Resource Center on Sunday. At 6 to 9, we're gonna have live band, food, everything. It's gonna be nice. And let me say this: is that all the proceeds from that is going to help us in the renovation of the building, because we at this point have not received any grants. This is all money, personal and loans that we took out to make this happen for our community. And so this would be something that I'm gonna take this opportunity for two parts, Bob. One is to celebrate my birthday. And just so happens my birthday is May the 22nd. That's the same day Memphis was birthed. So Memphis is May 22nd as well, the city.
Oh, wow.
And and so there's something special about that. 522 is something special about it. Not just because I know my cousin Cam, he used his number used to be 22,
that's
15,
right.
but So, but it's been a blessing, man. And so I'm looking forward to Sunday. My kids, they trying to keep me away from the building so they can get it ready. But you know, y'all know me. I got to keep my hands on something. So.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Charlie Caswell is our guest. Let's take a break here, Charlie. And when we come back, we want to talk to you. If there's anything else you want to mention about the Shelby County, the Legacy of Legends Center, before we go to a break, I'll give you a chance to talk about that real quick. Go ahead, and then we'll come back and talk about something else after the break.
I look forward to the rest of the conversation, but I just say about the Legacy Impact Center to others who are inspired, what we're going to be doing here throughout the year as well. We're going to be hosting training for other grassroots organizations who would like to build capacity like we built capacity to be able to buy a facility of this sort in our community to reinvest. So we'll be doing that throughout the year. And so I have more details, and again, legacyimpactcrc.com or .org is where they can be able to see that information.
All right. Charlie Caswell, and president and founder of Legacy of Legends, CDC, and Shelby County Commissioner-elect District 6. And we'll be back to talk about that and ask the questions. And maybe he can share with us his plans when we come back from the break. You're listening to Let's Talk About It. And I'm Bishop Bobby Midgett, and we'll be back after this. For the best soul food in the Mid-South, it's Shop and Save. $14.99 South 3rd, 901-946-4303. Serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And some of the items on their menu consist of catfish, spaghetti, chicken and dressing, turkey wings, meatloaf, fried chicken, cabbage, yams, greens, salmon croquette, and the list goes on. Some of the best soul food you ever taste in the Mid-South, it is Shop and Save. 1499 South 3rd. Call them again at 901-946-4303. Been in business since 1991. Shop and Save, 1499 South 3rd, 901-946-4303 for some of the best soul food you'll ever taste. If you're scheduling a wedding, a funeral, birthday party, appreciation service, or any other special event, then you'll probably need an experienced singer. Rose Prince has been singing in church choirs since the age of 8. Rose has been in very prestigious choirs where she has been selected to sing lead and on praise and worship teams. Rose has also been enrolled in institutional voice lessons. Book a local singer with a wide vocal range and with a voice as beautiful as a rose. Call Rose Prince at 405-468-4953. That's Rose Prince at 405-468-4953 for your special events.
I watch y'all coming here for years because you shot somebody. Now your life is shot. You gonna pick that phone up one day and that girl gonna be done dumped you and raise your child with another man. Or maybe your mama or your grandmama dies. Cause ain't nothing you can do about it. You got 15 to 20 years, state or fed time. Real talk. Don't lose your head, use your head, man. Gun crime, max time.
All right, and welcome back to the show. And I am your host, Bishop Bob Midgett. Let's talk about it. You're listening to it, and our special guest today, a little bit more mic. Our special guest today is Pastor Charlie Caswell. He is president and founder of Legacy of Legends, CDC. And so he is on the line with us live right now. Charlie, welcome back to the show.
Yes, sir, Bob. I appreciate it. Yes, sir.
All right. Let me get some, give that information, the address and the phone number. Again, I want people to really catch this. If they really need you, or some people maybe can donate to the Legacy of Legends and some things like that, or whatever is going on. What's the address, and give the phone number that they can call in case they want to donate and give some money, put some money in your hand.
Yeah. Most definitely. And we can use it. I tell you, again, I say this is that this development, we was blessed to get it at a great price, but then when you get something good, it almost sounds to be too good to be true. When you get inside, you found out why you got it for that price. And so, I mean, we had to do everything from adding new roofs on the building, do new floors, and do so much. I mean, people sadly stole all the air conditions all around the building, and which costing us almost $100,000 to replace the AC units for the whole unit for every building. And so, so it is no doubt. And again, but this is an example that we're not letting those things stop us from the investment. So they can reach us. Our nonprofit organization, Legacy of Legends, CDC, you can reach us at Legacy of Legends. That's LEACYOL Legends, LEGENDS.org. They can reach us on that website, and that will connect you to straight to us. And also on that page, you'll see a donate now, and you can make a donation there to be able to sow into this great work. And again, you can go online and Google Charlie Caswell Memphis or Legacy of Legends, and you'll see a number of stories that the news have done on us and on this work. And so we invite our people to vet us and look us up to see that we're not just getting money and not putting it back into our community, that we actually are, making an impact.
Charlie, can they just come by the building if they want to and drop off donations during the week?
And so I'm gonna say this. So it is because we have people here pretty much all day, every day, because we're doing a lot of renovation, getting the building up to code. But I welcome people. If you drive by this building now, Bob, from the time when y'all came years ago, right now we have redone part of the face. We get ready to paint the other side with the gym, but we got like big pictures of Dr. King on the windows. You would think it's just newspaper, but them are actually articles from when Dr. King was slain, from Selma Bridge. So it looked like you going into the Civil Rights Museum. Big old picture of Rosa Parks on the building. So it really speaks to the culture of our community and letting them know that we have people that were trailblazers, so that we can have the right to do and make investments such as this in our community.
Great job you're doing, Charlie, and our hats off to you, man. And you'll be hearing from us. Listen,
yes, sir.
Let's talk about your you elected to the Shelby County Commission, District 6. Let's first of all congratulate you on a job well done, and they've got the right person.
Amen.
They've got the right person, man.
I appreciate that, Bob. I just say this and getting elected, Bob. I prayed, and me and my wife, and we prayed hard because but it was like when I tell you the work that I just described that we did.
Okay, you're cutting out on us. You're cutting out on us. I don't know what's.
Okay. Can you hear me now, Bob?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. Yeah, I just say that the work that we done for many years up to this point, it prepared us for this. See, I said my wife, we prayed about it, and I just knew that the assignment of asking people to go into office and to fight for our children and families, and many of them, they have said before they get elected, but when they got in office, we never heard back from them, right? And so God spoke to me on that and said, I gave you the assignment. And so that really moved me to say, okay, if something is going to be done, we're gonna have to make the move. And for those who know me, know that over the last almost 5 years, I've been spending my own personal dollars, hired a lobbyist in Nashville to fight for legislations to get bills passed, in which we were able to help get 2 passed for the state of Tennessee that address adverse childhood experiences in the schools and in the home. One being in the schools, that every school now in the state, and I'm trained over 6,100 people across the state of Tennessee on the evidence research behind adverse childhood experience, and in a home where now if you get divorced in the state of Tennessee, you have to go through 30 minutes of this ACEs training before the judge sign off on your divorce. And I'm going to tell you the significance of that. So I had one family that called me who went through the training after they seen one of my trainings and said, this wasn't nothing but God. They said they never dealt with their own childhood trauma, and they was about to pass that down to their children. And what the evidence showed, these children takes on, because I was divorced many years ago, and so these children takes on the neglect of those families, us as grown folks, as on them. And that begins to impact them in school, that impact them in the community. I had parents calling me that their kids were vaping and using drugs. And so when I sat down and talked with the kids were like, well, they got a divorce and it was my fault. And I'm like, how is that your fault? That's grown folks, right?
Wow. Isn't it amazing, Charlie, that the kids know something went wrong here, and so they try to find a reason to this is why my parents our situation is messed up because of me. What makes them think that though, Charlie?
Because you got to think about it, they're mirroring us. And so it's like they looking in the mirror, and when they see us acting up, that's what they begin to take on. Well, that's how I'm supposed to act. And so that's why I say so often when I'm doing this training, doing this work, and even when I'm working with the police department, it's not what's wrong with these children, it's what happened to them.
Okay.
And we got to start looking at the root cause, because genetically, these kids are the way they are because of what we did as parents or didn't do, taking care of our health or whatever and our mental capacity. And then they take on that weight. You know, you heard the old saying, the crack baby. And we call the kids, kids, why? Because their parents was on crack. And then now they are here acting out and acting out. Why? Because that need for some substance is resonating with them, but they don't know what it is, why they want to get high, why they looking for something that's just not there. And so there's so much evidence and research behind that, Bob. You know, it'll be a whole nother show to talk about that, but that is some of what I've been working on over the years, and now to bring that capacity to a local level, to have a seat that I'm sitting in an upstream position, that I can begin to address things that I've been only able to address downstream. And when they got to me downstream, they was already messed up. And so my thing is, if we put the right policies and laws in place, then we wouldn't have to be dealing with much of what we're dealing with now. So that's it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Pastor Charlie Caswell is our guest, president of Legacy of Legends CDC here in Memphis, Tennessee. And Charlie, give that number one more time, man. I don't know why I keep asking you for that number. Keep giving that number one more time.
The phone number is 901-236-4604.
Okay. All right. Call that number. If you have a child or someone is in trouble, or you need someone to help steer your child in the right direction and other things they can explain to you there at the Legacy of Legend. All right, let's get to the Shelby County Commission. Your programs and things that you plan to put into place. Do you think that you will get support behind this with other people that are sitting on the Shelby County Commission, or do you think this will be a lonely journey, you traveling by yourself?
Yeah, let me say this, Bob, is that the fact of what I'm taking into this body is not based on my emotions or what I think needs to be done. It is what evidence-based research have proven. And the beautiful thing is, I have worked with many of these individuals, whether it's McKiska Bibbs and Miss Avan, who was on Shelby County School Board. Now they're going to be commissioners, and they helped Commissioner Love to approve a resolution for all of our schools to become trauma informed, in which and I was happy to be there with them about a couple of months ago at Cordova Middle School, where they put in place a mental health clinic within the school that allow for not only the child but parents to come for services, and they're getting ready to do it at Manassas High School and Booker T. Washington High School. And so that was birthed out of listening to evidence a few years ago with Commissioner Love that led to that. So yes, I believe we got a group of people. And then I don't know if you know this, but this is a historical year on the commission, because this is the first time you're going to have the majority being women. 7 women are on this body. So I believe, and I'm thankful, because I've been praying, because women are more nurturing in spirit. And I think that it'll be easy for them to understand, and with this evidence, what's happening to these children, to be able to step up and perform.
That's a very good point, Charlie. Very good point. Okay, let's Josh, you have any questions?
Yeah, just one, man. I'm curious, Charlie, man. How did it feel to, just in the process of the whole campaign and running and seeing the support you got, and then when you finally see that, hey, that you see that it's confirmed that you had the votes necessary. What was that feeling like?
Yeah,
and at that time.
So I had to stay humble through this process because I had so many people who were on our side from the beginning, right? So when I first came out to announce and to get the mayor and others to call and say, we are so happy you run, because it's like a breath of fresh air of somebody who actually know what's happening, being a part of it. So to that point, Bob and Josh, is y'all know I've talked about it for years. My motto of the 7, me and Pastor Ford came up years ago about the 7 P's. Yep. Working with the parents, the pastors, the police, the politicians, the proprietors, the partners, and the principals in the community. Well, guess what? Every time somebody who thought about running against me or running in this race came to any of those P's, they all said, we supporting Charlie Caswell. It's because of those intentional relationships and partnerships before I ran, and the fact that I worked with them. Like I just left for school this morning, but this is what we do all the time, dropping off almost 300 rolls of paper towels and other supplies to help them with their field day. But this is what we do every day. And so it wasn't hard for them to say, we're going to support you because you do the work. And so I had to stay humble because I knew that we had the support in the community on that behind us. But it was a young man, he jumped in there. I'm glad he did, because at first it wasn't nobody run against me, and then this young man jumped in on the last day and got his petition approved, which helped me understand the process better, right? I would have got in there in the big head and thinking it's my way, my policy, my way, but to really have to work for it and to hear from the people, and I share this is, many of the people didn't know my work directly because a lot of my work was based out of Frazier. The redistricting of the district moved us to Raleigh. So they just knew of me. They seen us on the news and all of that. But so, yeah, it was humbling. And it still is like, it ain't really hit me yet. I was talking to one of the commissioners yesterday. He said, it's going to hit you. He said, because it's a very powerful position. He said, there's only 2 people in this county that's really higher than the commissioner, and that's elected, and that's the district attorney and the sheriff. Because, the mayor have to get their approval from us, the commissioners, to get their budget approved.
Yeah. You're not just city council, but you're Shelby County. You're over the whole county.
Yeah, man. That's
the whole county.
Yeah.
And, and it's humbling, especially coming from Dixon Home, growing up in the project, like I said, coming from the family that I had, to know that out of 1 million people in our county, to be one of the 13 that oversee a $1.5 billion budget, you got to stay humble, right? And know that this is God that did this, and nothing I could have done but God to make this happen. So, but it goes back to, I said so many times before, is I recognized that I had to get out of a position to get in my purpose, and God set the position that I'm in now for His purpose.
Yeah,
man. Definitely. And so, how do you feel the state of like the county and city right now? Because with the county, it encompassing a lot more area. Of course, Memphis is most of that. But how do you feel about how things are right now? Because everybody talks about crime all the time, and then state of the school system, and I guess all of that could be several shows in itself. But how do you feel about how things are currently in the city? Because I know you've been working on things for years and years, but how do you feel about how the stuff is currently?
Well, I'm gonna say this, Josh, is that I'm kind of halfway in between, because I'm gonna tell you what I've seen and heard during this campaign that was to let me know that I was kind of in the vein of God, listening to His voice. He said, we've been too focused on electing leaders instead of visionaries. And so the Bible said, because of lack of vision, the people perish. Not because of lack of lead. We know the story about Saul and David, right? And the people wanted Saul to be their king instead of God, the visionary, the person who's giving them the vision, because they ain't seeking God for the vision. And so I say that to say that so much of what I see in our communities is driven by what's going to benefit a lot of these people for their next step, not for what is going to really benefit the people. And so I feel good that the people spoke in this, because the person who ran against me, it was people who want to control processes that really wanted this person to win because they knew they couldn't control me because I'm controlled by God and what He's telling me to do. And so, I say, and I said it to a friend the other day, is that, yes, I ran as a Democrat, but I got to put the people over the party. And so if the people are saying that, hey, that party is not serving us, then I'm not running for the party, I'm running for the people. And so I feel good that some of the people that I see coming into this body have some of the same mindset. And I just pray that we're going to be able to add on to, because I don't think we just bad. I think that we have made some bad decisions as a county, especially around education. And I make this point around that, is that we've been investing in, or watch this here, not investing in our children to the point that their mind and their capacity was only to build boxes for FedEx or Nike instead of building cars for Ford and these people who can pay them $50,000 and $60,000 a year, electrical, right? And I saw that firsthand because when the pandemic hit, we were one of the few churches, even though we didn't have YMCA or nobody to support us, we kept our doors open and allowed parents to bring their kids to us to do virtual school because none of the schools was open. Well, the parents, when we tell them like they got a homework assignment, well, I don't know how to work a computer. So we had to sit down and help mama who should have been taught, because computers been around for 20 plus years. Yeah. Longer than that, right? Yeah. But should have been in our schools a decade ago. Yeah. But they didn't want them learning how to build an airplane. They wanted them to pack the boxes that go on the plane. And because they can only pay, you know what I'm saying, they only paying you $10 minimum wage, what have you, instead of paying you a livable wage. And they'll come back and say you don't have a skill set. So that's one thing, is that I feel like we just been in the dinosaur age in education. Some schools still don't have books in the school, and that's sad. Yeah. So that's one thing. The other thing is that when you talk about the crime problem, I go back just into this part, and a lot of people gonna say, Charlie, everybody ain't been traumatized. Let me tell you this: the evidence behind the trauma don't just start with me, Bob. That the fact that I seen my friend murdered. It started when my parents and my grandparents had to deal with the white man saying, you can't have this, you can't go there. So now they have normalized their mindset to what they can't do.
Right. Okay.
And so therefore they wouldn't strive to open. They weren't gonna open the business. You talking about opening a business in Memphis, Tennessee, where Dr. King died, or got killed. And so what that say to generations before us was, if you stuck and think you the man, you're gonna get taken out, right?
Yeah.
And so when parents don't educate and equip their children, is because of the fear of what happened to them. Many of them. Man. Yeah. So that's my thing. Yeah.
It's amazing to think about that. You talk about people getting taken out, and I didn't even notice how the whole Dr. King thing still lingers. You know what I mean? Even the generations now that may not even know a lot about that whole thing, but the reputation lingers. Oh, that's where King got killed. You got to get out of there if you want to, even the thought process behind, when young Dolph got killed, and I know that's a whole nother thing, but a guy that was, I know about his music or whatever, but as far as doing things in the community, a guy that was successful getting knocked off, it kind of perpetuated that same thought process. So I know it's going to take a lot to try to change that, definitely.
Yeah. And Charlie, before we let you go today, one other thing I want to talk about here is there's a lot of things that's going on our streets now. We have everything from what we heard this past couple of days, that people riding around certain communities, hanging out their cars, shooting people's houses up just to be doing something. Cars have been spinning around certain areas of the city and the interstate, or street crossing, just spinning wheels and all of that crazy stuff. And Does it, and it's mainly, now we have to face the fact and wake up and smell the coffee, Charlie. It's mainly, is it mainly the Black community that have a lot of these problems? And what do we need to do to make a difference in that community to change this kind of behavior? Is it more police to police those areas, or to pay more attention? Are they not paying attention to those areas? Is the reason why things happen the way they do because the people know they're not paying attention to those areas? What's going on? What should we do?
Yeah. So I'm going to say this, Bob. So I was in a conference up in Baltimore around some of these issues just not too long ago to try to see how we curb gun violence, and also went to D.C. And so we had other people from Colorado, different other places where it was some white communities, so dealing with some of the same issues. But sure, if we bring it back local, we are the majority out of the 1 million people in this county. We're about 600,000 of us are Black, right? So we're the majority in this county. So you will see that a lot of the issues that we do see, sadly, because of go back to the fact that the Bible says train up a person in the way
you're
that
kind of
you're
kind of cutting out just a little bit.
Can you hear me now, Bob?
Yeah, I can still hear you. Yeah, go ahead.
It's okay, yeah, because I'm trying to step away from this building without. But yeah, just going back to where the Bible says, train up a child in the way that he should go. He get old, he far from it. Well, we already know that a lot of training has not been done. This is what I say to the U.S. Attorney Joseph Murphy, who's over the Tennessee here. We've been doing some summits with him, and he said, Charlie, well, we let a lot of the people back out of the prison, and when they get out, they come back. This is what I said, Bob. But when you let them out back into the toxic environment in which he went in. I said, was anything invested in the environment that caused him to do the crime or the things that he was doing? Did any of that change? And so when you talk about, let me just bring it home to Raleigh Frazier, and that's mostly Frazier. But I can tell you over the last 20 years, there has not been no real investments that direct towards changing the mindset of the individuals, whether they left here 20 years ago, they're going to come back to almost the same. Now, some things are happening. Now, I'm going to say that. We got, some major things are happening that, but let me say this. It's infrastructure things. It's like, okay, yeah, we're getting a new community center. But that's a building.
Yeah.
We getting a new park.
Right.
Okay. But the mindset has not been connected. Why? Because when you go into schools, they ain't even, the teachers will tell you, I can only get one problem out in a class because of so much of kids acting a butthole.
Wow.
And
that's amazing, and Charlie. That's amazing.
Yeah. And so if they're not learning nothing, and so when they get out here, so two parts of it. They're not learning and they're not healing. And so if you can't heal, you can't build.
Right.
And so this is one of the reasons when me and my wife, we knew that they didn't have a driver education. We saw what was happening out here on the street. So we started a driving school in the community and made it affordable for people in this community to be able to take these classes. Why? Because we see how they drive. They don't respect the rules of the road. They think these cars won't kill the way that they drive.
Yeah, Charlie. When you get time there, talk about that. Your driving school there too. We want to get you covered here.
Yeah, and most of it, I appreciate it, Bob, and I'll make sure we get some advertising on there. But yeah, the Caswell Group Driving School, and you can go to caswellgroup.info. And again, that driving school provide, and we're the only Black certified state driving school in Shelby County. It's certified by the state. Now there are other driving schools, but not where when you come to us, when you finish your 30 hours of class, those 6 hours behind the wheels, you can get more hours if you want it. But we then take you on your driving test. That then all you have to do is go down to the DMV, take the knowledge, and then watch this here. The state just approved it last week that the child can actually take his knowledge test at home online. Now the parent have to sign that they're the proctor and that they're sitting there and watching them take the test, and nobody is taking it for them, But you know, so it's things are being, and then that's a question. That's still a question on that, right? Because a lot of parents don't we just talked about that issue. They looking for how they can get over, and so they'll teach their kid, okay, I'll take it for you, and then now the child out here driving still don't know the rules of the road,
Wow.
and so that can be a concern.
Yeah.
But with that being said, if any concerned parents are out there and they want their child to know the right way and know the rules of the road and to do it the right way, Caswell Group Driving School.info. We'll be glad to help.
Is there a phone number they can call there, Charlie?
It is, but man, I don't even. I'm gonna give you my wife's number. She'll give me later. 901-870-1209. Again, 901-870-1209. And then I thank God for my wife Teresa. She is the founder CEO of the driving school, and she has done an excellent job running that business and really built a really good, successful business out of that. So.
Okay, and is this only for teenagers, your school, or anybody?
Oh, no, sir. We got a group of adults in class today. So it's also for adults as well who may have never known how to drive or need some extra driving classes. The class we got this weekend is adults.
What if they've already passed their driving test? Their written test, they just need to get a little perfected on driving.
Yep. So we got a package for that. So they can just go to their website. It's a package that allows them to pay for just the drive, but that's just what you said. They got took the test, and because we don't get behind wheel with people who haven't got the test, and so that's one thing. And then two, we have a stimulator. I guess I'm saying that right. Where if it's somebody who just really afraid to get on the road, we can start them on that simulator. It's just like a car. They get inside of it, and got everything just like you on the road, and take you through several margins, rain, sleet, and snow, and really help them understand how to be able to navigate on the road.
Very good. That's very well. All right, Charlie Caswell, President, CEO of Legacy of Legends CDC, and also he is the elect Shelby County Commissioner, District 6, and he is also his wife is founder and CEO of the Charlie Caswell Driving School. Man, I tell you
now,
what.
Make sure you just say Caswell Group. Don't say Charlie Caswell. My wife said, hey,
okay. I take that Charlie off there.
Yeah.
Caswell.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Charlie, it has been a pleasure, man, to talk with you again and have you on the show.
Definitely.
And we get you back again, man, when everything gets rolling you in the Shelby County seat. You promised once you get in that seat now, you still gonna talk to us.
I'm gonna be your political insider. So whenever you need some updated, I'm your man.
All right, there you go.
Awesome,
Charlie Caswell, man, we appreciate you. God bless, and
gotta get you a driving school commercial too, man.
Yeah. Send me, well, I'm gonna follow back up with y'all. We'll get it done. I appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir. We'll get that. Man, it's been a pleasure to have you on, and thanks again for joining us. And we'll talk to you next time.
All right, bless y'all. Talk to you later.
All right. Charlie Caswell, man, you need to get in contact with this man. Wow, man.
That's everything, man.
Man, I'm telling you, the driving school, he's Shelby County Commissioner, District 6, and President CEO of Legacy of Legends, your teenagers and people that are in trouble. Man, what a place to go. And I'm just telling you, folks, listen, there's things available out there that you can get in contact with and get help. And that's happening right now. And you need to call them and get in contact with them, what's going on there. All right, that's going to do it for me today. Coming up this afternoon at 4 or 5, we're somewhere around there. It'll be Talk Back Live with Bob and Josh, our mothership show, I guess you can call it that. That started it all, the Talk Back Live network, and so we'll do that this afternoon at between 4 and 5 o'clock this afternoon. So join us on that. We've got some heavy topics to talk about today. You don't want to miss it. All right. We'll talk to you next time. Next Saturday, our special guest will be meteorologist Austin Onick. Yes, the Wonder Man. He's going to be our special guest next week, so you don't want to miss that. Tune in, and we've got some great things to talk about, and plus, we're going to try to hook it up. Maybe you can call and ask some questions yourself. Hey, been a pleasure. We'll talk to you again later on this afternoon between 4 and 5 on Talkback Live with Bob and Josh. Have a wonderful day today. For the best soul food in the Mid-South, it's Shop and Save. $14.99 South 3rd, 901-946-4303. Serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And some of the items on their menu consist of catfish, spaghetti, chicken and dressing, turkey wings, meatloaf, fried chicken, cabbage, yams, greens, salmon croquette, and the list goes on. Some of the best soul food you ever taste in the Mid-South, it is Shop and Save. $14.99 South 3rd. Call them again at 901-946-4303. Been in business since 1991. Shop and Save, $14.99 South 3rd, 901-946-4303 for some of the best soul food you'll ever taste. If you're scheduling a wedding, a funeral, birthday party, appreciation service, or any other special event, then you'll probably need an experienced singer. Rose Prince has been singing in church choirs since the age of 8. Rose has been in very prestigious choirs where she has been selected to sing lead and on praise and worship teams. Rose has also been enrolled in institutional voice lessons. Book a local singer with a wide vocal range and with a voice as beautiful as a rose. Call Rose Prince at 405-468-4953. That's Rose Prince at 405-468-4953 for your special events.